Okay, let's go in tunnel. Good girl. Good dog. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. Wow, it's pretty early in the morning, hon. You wanna go on a trip? Okay, good girl.
Some kind of devotion that brings me down. That without my love for the ocean.
Am I really recording this? It's all part of the wonderful experience of flying with Pepper.
You're holding my mind in a tight grip when I walk all over you, and your blood is in the water as you go straight through my heart, through my heart.
Just like these unprecedented times, this video is a little unexpected.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, baggage complaint number 2.
Well, I've used a lot of strange tripods in my setup at various times, but this is probably the most unique. Yes, we did just buy a house in Florida, and you can watch us moving into that in our homecation series, but now of course we're off on a new adventure, and we're doing this in mid-August of 2020. So we wanted to create this video about what it's like to fly during COVID, as we're off here on our first adventure in these times. And we flew on Delta in July, and we flew on American here, and we just thought that it would be nice to document the experience. However, this morning as we were running through the airport with Pepper and almost missed the flight as we were the last people on.
Please. All travelers.
So there was no vlogging that happened this morning, but we've arrived at our destination that you will see in our next video. And I thought I could just answer some questions because a lot of our friends and family have just been asking us what it is like to fly. When we flew on Delta between Florida and Michigan in July, it was a wonderful experience out of the Tampa airport and into Detroit. Delta did not book any of the middle seats. The Tampa airport was mostly empty, and it just felt like the airline was very much in control of what was going on as much as they could. They were handing out hand sanitizer, and the plane was cleaned in between each flight. This was all explained to us, and they were also handing out wipes to wipe down the seats when we got in. So we just felt very comfortable, and because probably there was so few people, the whole process was very smooth during boarding. Now today, we flew out of Miami, well, I'll just tell you. We flew out of Miami and into LAX. So we're here in California, which has very strict COVID guidelines, and I know, you know, oh, here comes all the dogs. Hey, stay, honey. Oh, Hi.
Got the whole zoo.
I know. I've got one over here too.
Yeah, he's a kitty.
Are those your dog friends? Oh, you smell
7
them.
days a week. No entry is allowed except for airline passengers and persons meeting, accompanying, or
Girl. I get tons of, I hate when people say I get tons of questions. A lot of people ask on Instagram about how we travel with Pepper, so I promise you I will make a video about traveling with our dog, because a lot of you would like to do the same thing, and I just, you know, saw these pets come through here. So let's talk about this morning's experience on American. And I'm not like just sitting out here to like bash a brand or say that we had a bad experience. I just want to document and share exactly what each airline was doing. So our flight was completely sold out coming from Miami to LAX on American, and they were even offering money to switch your flight. So it was just kind of bizarre to see, because I have heard that other airlines are also not booking in the middle. So again, this is helpful information for you if that's important to you. I'm sure if you have health concerns, you're not flying at all, but just to be aware of what's going on out here. So American was packed, and then what I found the most interesting was just the, what is it called? Like the planing and deplaning as we boarded and got off the plane. Let's talk about all the different stages of going onto a flight. So all airports now are requiring that you wear a mask. So that's important to know. It's separate from your flight, right? But it is required inside here as a business. On the flight, because you're in a different company, right? You paid a ticket onto the airline under that company's policies, and everyone has a policy that you must wear a mask on a plane. They will remove you from the plane if you're not wearing a mask. So that is part of the company's policies. We have heard on these flights that you are allowed to take off your mask while you are eating or drinking. So that's the policy. The boarding process difference between Delta and American that we experienced was on Delta, we were given pre-sealed snacks and a hand sanitizer and a wipe for the seat. So that was boarding on Delta. American was not a different boarding process than the normal. We just boarded the plane. During the flight, once you're there and seated, the difference then of customer behavior that we saw on Delta is that all these people were then cleaning their seat using the hand sanitizer. It just felt more of like a controlled environment. American felt then more like life as usual. When we were deplaning, getting off the plane, what is that word? The difference between the two is Delta made an announcement that everyone should social distance as much as they can as they got off the plane. So when the first seats were going forward, people remained seated, allowed people to pass, and I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt too that my Delta experience between Tampa and Detroit was a much smaller and more neighbor feel than huge airports like Miami to LAX, which was obviously a bigger plane and more passengers. And that's just a different type of flight because you've got so many people from different connections coming in. So there's that going on as well. And because Delta made that announcement, everyone did a really great job debarking the plane in Detroit. Here, landing at LAX, it was, again, just kind of like life as normal as you would get off a plane with no empty seats. So life as normal there. As far as social distancing, if you are maintaining your 6 feet at all times, I would definitely not recommend flying or traveling, and you're probably not even watching this video, but again, I'm just sharing what it is like. You know, here at baggage claim, when it gets crowded around the turnstile, again, kind of life is normal. People are squeezing in between, grabbing their bags. So while I'm sitting here, I asked you all on Instagram if a video like this would be helpful. Most of you are saying yes, which is where this video comes from. And DJ Mazdev, you sent, how about a reenactment from start to end of us running through the airport this morning? That would be much better content than me just sitting here in baggage claim. Tim is getting our car, which is the start of our adventure, which you will see in the next episode. But if this is the first time that you are checking out this channel, we normally have really stellar travel content, and it's not us sitting in one place talking about things. But hey, if you haven't flown and you don't know anyone that's flown and you just wanted a little bit of information, this was the best that I could do for you. So have a safe flight, and I will leave you with one statement here, because inevitably this is controversial. Not everyone feels comfortable living in these times in the same way, right? So why we finally felt comfortable enough to get on a plane. Coming from a lifestyle of us, we did move in the middle of COVID here, but we've been here in mid-August. We've been to one restaurant since March. We have felt very uncomfortable going out, maybe partly because we live in Florida, but we have mostly been quarantined during all of this time, and we've kind of came to the conclusion that no one is going to give an okay or tell us to go. There's never going to be that one day where somebody comes out on the news or what and just says, it's time now, go back to normal, right? This is the new normal, and businesses are open and airlines are allowing you to fly, and whatever is right for you and your family, I encourage you to do that, and I encourage you not to critique others for making the decisions that are right for them, so long as you're not putting other people in danger. So please wear a mask. Please continue to sanitize and wash your hands. Apart from taking a couple sips of water, we chose not to eat on the flight, and just making those little preparations in advance will help you maintain a safe flight, because, you know, then we weren't hungry when we ate before the flight, right? So that's my little message for you. If you are looking for permission, you are not going to get it, right? You just need to choose in your head what is right for you. And then once some country borders open up here, we'll see where the next 12 months of our lives take us.
Oh, can you sit? Good girl.
And to think, we went around the entire world with just this and this, and now we can't go 3 weeks without this.
It's not a big deal. Lots of cross-training driving the RV, so driving the van around LA, not hard.
It's some kind of devotion brings me down.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute! This is gonna be amazing.
This thing's nice.
This is nice. And it smells new and clean, and
Things are clean and things work. We'll hate it in a week, but it's really
it's
nicer.
so much bigger than the New Zealand van. Oh my god, it's so big. It's so tall.
It's like a real van.
Ah, we're doing it! Sweet. Good morning. It's 6:30 here at Sequoia National Park, which is why we're the only people at this sign, and the #1 tip you want to know when coming to a national park.
Through my heart.